Friends, most of us have experienced the deep pain of losing a loved one around whom our whole life was revolving. A loved one has gone out of our life forever, and one will never be able to share ups and downs of life with him or her. This shocking truth, this very painful truth, is very difficult to bear. Friends, we have to understand one thing very clearly here. The moment of life stops for no one, despite the bitter loss of a parent, of a sibling, a dear friend, son or daughter, or someone else who was very close to your heart. Despite this terrible, shocking loss, the rest of the life has to be lived by the survivors. This video is addressed to people of all age groups who have to continue to live with their terribly shocking and very painful loss of a loved one. Sooner or later, the survivor has to face the challenge of bringing his or her life back on track. Family members, close friends, and relatives also encourage the survivor to bring some kind of order back into the life as soon as possible. First of all, let us have a look at all those ways in which people react to the loss of a loved one. We will also try to understand whether all these reaction responses to the death of a loved one are helpful in managing the life of the survivor. The most important thing a survivor has to understand is that this terrible grief can neither be forgotten nor it can be suppressed by any means. Spending time with the family, with friends and well-wishers brings a temporary relief. Their words of encouragement to start living a normal life seems to help only in the beginning, but the actual healing of the wound created by the death of a loved one does not start. This wound starts pulsating with unbearable pain whenever the survivor is alone and is not busy in performing the duties of the daily life. The survivor may decide to go and stay with a friend or a family member, but this will not help. The survivor may try to become busy in doing this or that, but no healing starts in this also. There is another kind of danger that I want to warn you about, which may arise when one is facing the trauma of the death of a loved one. Under the influence of this great shock, one may not be able to understand the actual implications of taking a step or action which is going to bring quite a lot of complication into the survivor's life. The memories of the loved one sometimes become too painful to bear. In order to lessen the impact of these painful memories, sometimes people will sell their house and change the city and completely change their lifestyle also. They stop meeting with people whose presence in their lives bring back the painful memories of the loved one. Sometimes the opposite of this happens. To fill up the void left behind by the loved one, they form a new relationship in haste. Such hastily formed emotional alliances are likely to bring quite a lot of complications in later part of the survivor's life. So what we are clearly seeing and understanding here is the fact that the pain of the trauma caused by the death of a loved one cannot go away by such or similar steps or actions. Then the question to be asked is this: what is the right way of coping up with the death of a loved one? What is the right place of the bittersweet memories associated with the loved one? Dear friends, I'll share my views and understanding in this matter now. The survivor is carrying a very valuable treasure of bittersweet memories of the loved one in his or her heart. These happy sad memories collected by living together through ups and downs in life with the loved one must get a proper place in the life of the survivor. By shedding tears day and night, is the survivor giving right place to these precious memories? By living a depressed life, by not fulfilling the responsibilities of the daily life? Is the survivor giving right value, right amount of respect to the memories of the loved one? Are those memories now going to live inside the mind and heart of a person who is completely shattered and is now living a disorderly and undisciplined life? In my view, dear viewers, the optimum place for the memories of the loved one is that they must get the opportunity to touch and be in contact with all the important events and happenings that are going to take place now in the life of the survivor. The memories of the loved one must stay alive now in the daily life of the survivor. What was the place of the loved one before? Now the bittersweet memories of the loved one should get the same place, the same status in the life of the survivor. Those memories must become a part of all the happenings, all the celebrations, all the happy events that are going to take place in the life of the survivor now onwards. In all these important events, the transition from the participation of the loved one to the participation of the memories of the loved one must occur naturally, harmoniously, simply, and happily. The survivor can give loving respect to the memories of the loved one only by staying physically, mentally, and emotionally healthy. The survivor must start fulfilling all the responsibility to the best of his or her abilities. He or she must start taking genuine interest in all fields of activities of his or her daily life. It is very important for the survivor to return back to the same rhythm of daily life that was operating when the loved one was alive. When the life of the survivor starts returning back to the normal, then only the memories of the loved one will survive healthily and happily. When such normalcy returns back in the life of the survivor, then only he or she will be able to cry or smile easily, naturally, remembering the loved one. Then right kind of harmonious relationship is established with the memories of the loved one. Slowly, the survivor will become comfortable with the memories of the loved one sitting all alone or when the discussion comes up about the loved one in a group. This is a very healthy, very living kind of relationship with the memories of the loved one, and it is this quality of relationship which starts healing the wound of the death of a loved one. Now the memories of the loved one will become the strength of the survivor, the inspiration to live a better life for the survivor. In my view, this is a very intelligent and sensitive way to show love and respect for the loved one. Dear friends, if you have found the video useful, then share it with the needy ones. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel Happiness Secrets if you have not already done so. This is Dr. Sudhir Sharma saying thank you to you for watching the video to the end.